Epic fails. Can we learn from history's biggest mistakes? Hey there, I'm Tori Moore, and welcome to our deep dive into the 4 worst projects in US history. In this video, we'll explore monumental failures that not only wasted billions of taxpayer dollars, but also left lasting impacts on communities and industries. From ambitious infrastructure plans that went awry to technological endeavors that never took off, these projects serve as cautionary tales of what can happen when vision outpaces reality. We'll break down each project, highlighting the key missteps and lessons learned along the way. So, if you're curious about the blunders that shaped our nation's history, and want to understand how these failures occurred, stick around. On January 28, 1986, the world watched in horror as the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded just 73 seconds after liftoff. It was a national tragedy, broadcast live on television, instantly etching itself into the memories of millions. 7 astronauts lost their lives that day. Francis R. Scobie, Michael J. Smith, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Judith Resnick, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista McAuliffe, a high school teacher chosen to be the first civilian in space. The image of the Challenger breaking apart against the bright blue sky is hard to forget. But the real tragedy, the part that continues to resonate today, is that it could have been prevented. Engineers at Morton Thiokol, the company that built the shuttle's solid rocket boosters, had raised concerns about the O-rings, rubber seals essential for preventing hot gases from escaping during launch. These engineers warned that the O-rings were vulnerable to failure in cold temperatures, and the morning of the launch was unusually cold for Florida. However, under immense pressure to keep the shuttle program on schedule, NASA officials decided to proceed. They downplayed the concerns of the engineers, arguing that the data was inconclusive. This decision, made in the face of clear warnings, proved to be catastrophic. The Rogers Commission, appointed to investigate the disaster, concluded that the accident was preventable and resulted from a flawed decision-making process within NASA. The commission found that a culture of complacency had developed within the agency, one where safety concerns were often overridden by scheduling pressures and the desire to maintain a positive public image. In the aftermath of the disaster, NASA implemented significant changes to its safety protocols, organizational structure, and decision-making processes. The Challenger disaster serves as a stark reminder of the importance of listening to dissenting voices, of prioritizing safety above all else, and of the dangers of groupthink. Boston. A city known for its charming brick sidewalks, its rich history, and of course its traffic. It's that last one that brings us to the Big Dig, a project so ambitious, so complex, and so riddled with problems that it became synonymous with government waste and mismanagement. Imagine this. It's the late 1980s and Boston's traffic is legendary. The Central Artery, an elevated highway slicing through the heart of the city, is perpetually jammed. The solution? Bury it. All of it. Thus began the Big Dig, officially known as the Central Artery Tunnel Project. The plan was to reroute the Central Artery into a 3.5-mile tunnel beneath the city, untangling the traffic knot and opening up valuable real estate for parks and development. But as any contractor will tell you, digging a giant hole in the middle of a city, especially one as old as Boston, is a recipe for surprises. First, there were the costs. Initially projected at $2.6 billion, the price tag began to balloon almost immediately. Unforeseen obstacles like buried shipwrecks, contaminated soil, and a tangle of underground utilities turned the project into an archaeological dig meets engineering nightmare. Then there were the delays. Years stretched into decades, and the Big Dig became a running joke, a symbol of government inefficiency. The project was plagued by accusations of corruption, shoddy workmanship, and political maneuvering. To add insult to injury, in 2006, a tragedy struck when a section of the tunnel ceiling collapsed, killing a motorist. The incident raised serious questions about the project's safety and led to even more scrutiny and delays. When all was said and done, the Big Dig had taken over 20 years to complete and cost a staggering $14.8 billion, making it the most expensive highway project in U.S. history. So, was it worth it? Well, Boston's traffic did improve and the project did free up valuable land, transforming the city's waterfront. But the Big Dig's legacy is a complicated one. It stands as a cautionary tale about the importance of realistic planning, transparent budgeting, and rigorous oversight in large-scale infrastructure projects. Chapter 3. Healthcare.gov- When good intentions meet technical difficulties. In the annals of technological misfires, the launch of Healthcare.gov in 2013 holds a special place of infamy. This wasn't just a website crash. It was a digital meltdown of epic proportions. A cautionary tale about the perils of underestimating the complexities of building online platforms, especially when it comes to something as crucial as healthcare. The Affordable Care Act, often referred to as Obamacare, was a landmark piece of legislation aimed at expanding health insurance coverage to millions of Americans. At the heart of this ambitious plan was Healthcare.gov, a website designed to be a one-stop shop for comparing and enrolling in health insurance plans. From the moment the website launched on October 1, 2013, it was plagued by technical glitches, error messages, and a user interface so confusing it made navigating a labyrinth seem like a pleasant stroll in the park. Users reported spending hours trying to create accounts only to be met with cryptic error messages, or, worse, being kicked off the site entirely. The website was so overloaded that it crashed repeatedly, leaving millions of Americans frustrated and unable to access the health insurance they needed. The political fallout was swift and brutal. Critics of the Affordable Care Act seized on the website's woes as evidence that the entire law was flawed. Expert programmers were brought in to try and salvage the website, working around the clock to fix the code and improve its functionality. Gradually, painfully, the website began to function more smoothly, but the damage was done. The Healthcare.gov debacle had eroded public trust in the Affordable Care Act and provided ammunition to its opponents. The Healthcare.gov launch serves as a sobering reminder that in the digital age, even the best-intentioned policies can be derailed by technological failures. Chapter 4. The New Coke Fiasco, a cautionary tale of brand loyalty. In the world of business blunders, few are as legendary, as head-scratchingly baffling, as the New Coke Fiasco of 1985. It's a story that demonstrates the power of brand loyalty, the dangers of underestimating your customers, and the importance of, well, not messing with a good thing. Picture this. It's the 1980s, the era of shoulder pads, leg warmers, and a fierce cola war raging between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Coca-Cola, the undisputed king of colas for decades, was facing a formidable challenge from its younger, hipper rival. Pepsi's Pepsi Challenge marketing campaign, featuring blind taste tests that often favored Pepsi, had chipped away at Coke's market share. So, in a move that can only be described as bold, or perhaps reckless, Coca-Cola decided to change its formula. They called it New Coke, and it was sweeter, smoother, and according to their market research, preferred by consumers in blind taste tests. On April 23, 1985, New Coke hit the shelves, replacing the original formula, and that's when all hell broke loose. The public reaction was immediate and overwhelmingly negative. People didn't just dislike New Coke, they loathed it. They felt betrayed, as if Coca-Cola had tampered with a national treasure. Letters poured in, protests were organized, and a sense of national outrage swept the country, all directed at a soft drink. Just 3 months after its disastrous debut, New Coke was pulled from the shelves, and the original formula, rebranded as Coca-Cola Classic, was triumphantly returned to its rightful place. The New Coke fiasco became a legendary case study in the annals of marketing mishaps. It demonstrated the power of emotional connections that consumers forge with brands, and the dangers of underestimating the importance of nostalgia and tradition. Outgrow learning from our mistakes, the importance of looking back to move forward. So there you have it. 4 epic fails that serve as cautionary tales for anyone embarking on a large-scale project, whether it's launching a space shuttle, digging a tunnel, building a website, or even just changing the formula of a beloved soft drink. Each of these stories highlights the importance of thorough planning, clear communication, and a healthy dose of skepticism. If you found this discussion insightful, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who might benefit from these lessons. Until next time, keep those critical thinking caps on, and remember, progress isn't always a straight line. Sometimes, it's a winding road paved with the occasional epic fail.